President Trump has announced a 25% tariff on countries doing business with Iran. Well, now a spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in the U.S. has responded in a statement that reads, China's position against the indiscriminate imposition of tariffs is consistent and clear. Tariff wars and trade wars have no winners, and coercion and pressure cannot solve problems. China firmly opposes any illicit unilateral sanctions and long-arm jurisdiction and will take all necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. All right, let's bring in Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu, who is live for us in Beijing. So, Katrina, Trump didn't mention China when he announced these tariffs, and Tehran's foreign trade relationships are pretty opaque. Surely, though, this leaves no doubt that China is trading with Iran and is going to be impacted.
That's right. Trump didn't mention China explicitly, but China is definitely in the firing line of this policy. And this is because China is Iran's top trading partner. It has been since 2016, and this provides an economic lifeline to Iran and the ruling regime. And China has always defended this trade as legitimate. To give you a sense of the scale of what China purchases from Iran, it's thought that China purchases about 90% of all Iran's shipped crude oil, and that makes up about 15% of China's total import of crude oil. It also gets a deal on this because there are limited buyers, of course, of Iran's oil because of these U.S. sanctions that have been there for years. And it doesn't just buy oil. China also purchases other things from Iran. It purchases plastics, iron ore, and chemicals. And it's also a major buyer of Iran's methanol. So there are also reports that China was considering even increasing its purchase of Iranian oil in light of the turbulence now in Venezuela.
So there has been so much back and forth that we've seen between Washington and Beijing since President Trump took office. This obviously is another thorn in that trade relationship, isn't it?
It's already a very fraught relationship between these two superpowers. We're currently in the middle of a trade truce between the two sides, but it's quite a fragile truce. This is following the tit-for-tat tariff hikes that these two sides played against each other that last year reached beyond 100%. But then we had President Trump and President Xi Jinping meet on the sidelines of APEC at the end of the year, and now we have those tariffs on Chinese goods going into the US face about a 35% tariff, and we have some sort of relative stability. Now, of course, this would add an extra 25% tariff on all Chinese goods, bringing that to beyond 50%, and that's really going to hurt Chinese manufacturers. Not only that, that could jeopardize this current stability that we have between Beijing and Washington, and also jeopardize this planned visit that Donald Trump has to Beijing that is expected to take place in April this year.
Yes, so many potential economic implications of this. That's Katrina Yu for us with The View from Beijing. Katrina, thank you.